Austin Powers, and his feet, its tootsies got frozen, so he can't. It's like, God, for crying out loud, Antonio Brown, grow up.
Well, then he had the problem also what we talk about, the bill that he has from the Pro Bowl weekend for the chef, and the helmet. Well, so he showed up on.
Yeah, what was the bill?
$32,000 or $38,000. Yeah, and then so.
I mean, people walk around complaining about like, oh, these rich people and all this money and all this. I mean, $38,000. I mean, around here, that could be half of someone's home.
So he reached out to Twitter to have that shoot helmet. I think he got something like 11 of them, and none of them passed inspections. So he's still mad. He's calling the end.
What in the hell does it matter about the helmet? Well, why does it matter?
But he wants his old Pittsburgh helmet.
He's saying that the NFL is prejudiced against him. I'm not kidding you.
He's an idiot.
Yeah.
Just go away.
He wants
just go away. I mean,
this is going to kill the Raiders.
Dude, I'm just so tired.
He wants his old Pittsburgh helmet is what he wants. Because he wants to go back to Pittsburgh because he saw how bad things are in Oakland, and he thought maybe I could force a trade to get back to Pittsburgh.
That's going to be bad.
No, he's never going back there. He's probably going to prevent on himself right out of the league, a.k.a. Who else did that?
Des Bryant?
Well, Des a little bit, but before Des, T.O.
Yeah.
T.O. 2.0, Stock. Let's bring that one back on you. It is, though. I mean, T.O. was talented, and when he, all of a sudden, everybody's like, no, I don't want any part of it.
Because they got tired of the circus.
When you're saying they're being prejudiced against him, he's serious here, because they didn't make an issue out of this until when he brought it up this summer, when they said that his new helmet, his old helmet that he's had for 9 seasons went off to testing, it didn't pass. Every other person that's had helmets over a decade long, if it didn't pass, they had a 1-year grace period to switch and upgrade.
But they had that grace period last year.
For him, it didn't get tested until this summer.
Well, Tom Brady and
Aaron Rodgers had 1-year grace period.
Yeah,
so I do understand, but he's being a prima donna, absolutely. But I understand the frustrations on why doesn't he get the 1-year grace period and then fix it, then have their solutions so that everybody can just move on. But right now, the Raiders GM, like you're saying, he's had it. He's saying we have 89 other guys busting their tails out here. Mm-hmm. He's either we hope he's going to be a big part of it, but at this point, he's either all in or all out.
Yep. All right, here's the deal.
So I get it.
No grace period. I don't care who you are.
If that's the rule, that's the rule, though.
Yeah.
All right, but no grace period.
Okay.
All right, they're telling you this helmet, we're trying to make it safer for you guys.
Correct.
You guys are suing us in court. So we're trying to make the things to say, okay, this helmet isn't safe enough, you ding-dongs. No grace period. You're suing us. The boom, boom, boom. Here, this is healthy for you or more healthy for you. I don't care.
Sign a waiver that says you can't sue us.
Yeah. Put the GD thing on, shut up and go play football. Well, can you see? Are they putting a mask on the front of it so you can't see to catch the damn football?
Well, the way sometimes he plays, it acts like he's got a mask on because he's sometimes
comes
to the
Zorro?
Game. No, he comes to the game with stone hands.
God.
But he also in turn said that
eye holes cut out.
Yeah.
He in turn said that if it doesn't, he in turn said that if he gets hurt wearing the new helmet, he would sue the league.
Right.
Right.
So that's
we're giving you a healthier helmet or whatever, safer helmet.
How
am I'm using the wrong analogy or whatever.
Safer.
No.
Safer helmet, but come on.
This will all.
And for all you kids out there who know who Zorro is, he was a masked hero from the 50s.
I remember Zorro.
So this should all be playing itself out soon on HBO Hard Knocks, right?
I was going to bring up Lone Ranger, but I thought even that was more dated than Zorro.
No, I've watched the Lone Ranger.
Oh, yeah, because that Brennan dude did him. Or somebody did him in a movie with Johnny Depp. Johnny Depp.
I never saw that one, but I saw the original on TV.
Remember when, God, who was the guy? Who's the guy that tans a lot?
George Hamilton?
George Hamilton played Zorro.
In a movie, yeah.
Did not watch that one, but
that was one from like late 70s.
The last movie I went to see in the theater was Draft Day.
All right.
Well, like I said, this will all play out on HBO's Hard Knocks, but HBO is going to
This makes you feel bad for Gruden. I really does. I mean, he's trying.
He's got 10 years, $100 million. I don't feel bad for him.
It's a very good.
I don't think he's going to be
you
fired.
make a strong argument there.
Yeah,
but I'm just saying. I'm like, TK, you're going to be all right.
He'll be.
I tell you what.
He'll be fine the first couple of years in Vegas, and then if he hasn't started winning by say year 4, 5, I think then he'll be.
I think this hammers Jacobs up to be a favorite to win Rookie of the Year.
Who?
Josh Jacobs. Their receiving core is going to be awful. He's not. You could right now do the over under on how many games he's going to play. Antonio Brown's going to play. When he sat out week 17.
Set it at 8.
He sat out week 17 last year just because he was upset with the Steelers.
I say 8. Over under 8.
I'm gonna go with 4.
You think he's only going to play 4 games?
He's probably gonna end up getting suspended at some point by the Raiders.
You know what he should do next?
And I think he's only
he should really kneel.
I don't think
that'll help him out a lot.
Yeah, that might save his job like it saved Colin Kaepernick's that one year.
Well, and Nike will give you $14 million for no reason. Hey, Nike, I got an idea.
on his helmet.
How about not giving some ding dong $14 million? If you're going to give away $14 million, give it away to the needy. Idiots.
If you are a fan of Hard Knocks, they are going to be doing the college version of it with Washington State.
All right, this is bad news, Bears.
So Mike Leach.
This is bad.
Why is that
news,
bad
Bears.
news? Why? That's good. Mike Leach is gold.
Mike Leach is gold. This is bad.
Why is that?
I don't agree with it.
Why?
These are kids, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it.
You think they're go?
I don't know. It's exploiting. These kids already can't get paid, and now you're going to put them on HBO so they get exploited even more? Sorry, dude. I'm
HBO's
against
making
it.
money off it.
You're
yeah,
damn right
you're
they
right,
are.
yeah.
HBO is. They're a bunch of crooks too. If you
But-
don't get me started on HBO.
Well, isn't that a recruiting thing though too? Isn't that for Washington State? Wouldn't that be a
unfair advantage?
Well, if they use it, if they would say to a recruit, "We're going to be on HBO Hard Knocks," but all the kids that are going to be on it are already at Washington State.
Yeah, I guess if they don't announce it till later, but eventually this is going to get leaked, and people they want to be on.
Well, are they? I don't think
bad news.
I don't think they're doing it like the NFL Hard Knocks, where they're with them for a whole training camp. I think they're only going to be there for a week's time, and I think there's other schools, so it's not just Washington State. I think maybe Oklahoma State. There's a few others. It wouldn't surprise me if Michigan. I don't know all the teams. I know there were like 4 or 5 teams, and they said they were going to do it like in week. They were going to be with them for a whole week.
It's yeah. I mean,
it's a distraction enough for professionals. This is bad.
We know Leach and Gundy. We know his drops and everything else. But just like a quote from former Washington State quarterback Isaac Dotson. This is from the Athletic. He was talking about a meeting with him, coach at a quarterback meeting. He said maybe 5 plays into watching film, something happened that sparked a classic Mike Leach tangent. For at least an hour, he talked about everything from growing up in Wyoming to having a pet raccoon, getting paddled by the principal at junior high, the origins of football, and eventually just a full-blown Native American history lesson.
Who didn't get paddled by
the
the
1 hour
principal
meeting?
in junior high?
The 1 hour meeting lasted
I
probably
did.
3 hours. I remember looking at the veteran QBs in the room with the "what is happening right now" look on my face, but I could tell by their actions that this was just a normal thing.
Oh my! Mike Leach, his own. It could be. They could do a whole week. Have a whole week and have like enough film for like a 13-week series.
Did you ever get SWATs in school?
No.
Really, Surge?
What?
No.
SWATs?
What are you talking about?
Like the principal pulls out a board and gives you 3 whacks in your
No.
butt? Never?
Nope.
No.
A bunch of goody two shoes.
That was a done thing by that time.
So-
I remember when I was in
late
elementary
90s,
school.
late 90s,
our
that was
elementary
illegal.
principal
Was it?
had a paddle that
I
we walked by
had,
every
I got
day.
SWATs twice in grade school. I remember those emphatically. And then once in junior high.
Oh, jeez.
I
Did
see
they
that
really
in
wind
impression.
up and get into it?
Oh, yeah, I got holes drilled out and everything.
No, I don't even think there was a paddle
Stinger, baby.
in my principal.
No, I remember when I was in junior high, there was a teacher in the high school that smacked a kid on the back of the head with a manila folder, like a lightweight manila folder in the back of the head. And she got in trouble. The teacher got in trouble.
I remember
So that was pretty much the end of that.
So
I remember
basically, my
walking-
generation was the only generation that got beat.
I remember walking
Look how
past
good
the
you turned
principal.
out.
I know.
I remember
These
walking.
guys are all screwed.
When I was in kindergarten, 1st and 2nd grade, we had to walk past the principal's office to go to lunch. And I think every day that I was in kindergarten through 2nd grade, her door was open and we could look through the office and see her on the wall was the huge paddle with the holes drilled in it. And that put the fear of Damocles into you.
It's more aerodynamic.
Damocles is a demon. If anybody out
Fear
there
of Damocles. I'm going to use that this week in my house.
The old sword of Damocles.
To my kids. Yeah, I'm going to put the fear of Damocles in you if you don't watch it.
They're going to be like, who?
Yeah, well then,
and then we'll have to
YouTube is just going to be coming up right after that. We're going to be watching. All right, we're going to take our first break. When we come back, we're going to talk a little bit about, recap a little bit of some fantasy and give you some fantasy news and give you another alternate to a draft.
Oh, right.
Not to a Damocles, yeah.
All right, attention pizza lovers, we have exciting news for you. Vans Pizza is now in Bettendorf. Vans Pizza more on the go. It's just opened near the TBK Plex at the corners of Middle and Forest Grove Road. They have outstanding daily specials with that Vans Pizza you love, plus Vans famous wings, the also popular bread nuggets, and baked subs. Vans Pizza More is a carry-out, call-in establishment that you can have your pizza hot and ready within 10 minutes or get it delivered. Delivery area is limited, so make sure you call and ask. And that number is 563-232-1396. Once again, 563-232-1396. That's Vans Pizza and More, 5023 Competition Drive in Bettendorf.
This is Merrick Brave from SCW Pro, and you are listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
In business, is it better to build your way to growth or buy your way? First Midwest Bank has ideas. It's a critical decision and different for every company. A First Midwest commercial banker can help you weigh your options, because at First Midwest, they're not just bankers, but expert financial advisors. Talk to one today or visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. M&A momentum, strategic momentum, business momentum. First Midwest Bank.
It's time to bet. Place your bets with Elite Sportsbook at Rhythm City Casino Resort. We're Iowa-based, locally owned, and Iowa's preferred sportsbook. Football, baseball, college, or pro, bet anytime, anywhere in Iowa. Visit Draft Day Sports Lounge at Rhythm City Casino and start betting now. Online betting coming soon for active Resort Club members. Not a Resort Club member? Visit Rhythm City Casino Resort now to join. Membership is free. Make every game better with Elite Sportsbook at Rhythm City Casino Resort. Subject to IRGC approval. Must be 21. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
Big news for car buyers. It's a corporate ordered clearance at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. Here's Gavin McGrath.
We're overstocked. Over 2,500 quality pre-owned vehicles are all clearance priced. Payments from $167 a month. Certified used trucks from $10,988.
That's clearance pricing. Plus, even bigger news if you're looking to trade.
We trade for anything regardless of mileage or age.
Tug it. Tow it.
Tell us where it is. Get top dollar and clearance pricing at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
Payments as low as $167 a month.
The Quad City's best selection of certified pre-owned trucks from $10,988. Clearance pricing for everyone. All credit applications accepted.
And we're trading for anything.
Close. No firearms or spouses, please.
The McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport, 4618 North Brady Street. Log on McGrathAuto.com.
ESPN 93.5 is the Quad Cities sports leader and home of your local sports show, Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Listen for a chance to win everything from tickets to free food. Every time you win and pick up your prize at the ESPN 93.5 Pepsi ticket window, we'll give you a Pepsi for the road as well. It's like winning twice. Get more chances to win by downloading the ESPN 93.5 app or going to ESPN935.com. From the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
ESPN 93.5 wants you to be an insider. Access great contests and giveaways and be in the know at ESPN935.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged, and ESPN Quad Cities. From local to global, ESPN 93.5 has you covered with your Quad Cities sports talk show. It's Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Talk sports with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jay Bird, Serge, and you. Weekdays from noon to 2 on ESPN 93.5. The Will Kane Show, 2 till 5 on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
All right, everybody, we are back here in the Hassle Castle, brought to you by Dunright Satellite and Dish. And you're listening to Don't Hassle, so look here on ESPN 93.5, still in studio with our main man, the Stockpile Gold, Brian Stocking.
So yesterday we had our Listener League fantasy draft at Pints.
Yeah.
And we had.
I won it hands down.
I don't know about that.
Well, what's your team?
Well,
Mr. Man.
It was auction style, and the thing is that drafts are drafts, and until you get people in there and everything, sometimes you scramble. We went from a 12 team to a 10 team, which is fine. Numbers, you need to change your numbers when it comes to that, as far as auction goes. So players can go a little bit higher than what you think the value or what your value sheets say. I will say I like my team.
I do too.
My highest I went on was David Johnson. I'll tell you this right now. I was going in for an all air raid Arizona offense. That's what I was going to do. I was going with two strategies. Yeah. I was going to go 3 stars in the $50 range, and then just scrub it out. Get them as low as I could, and get the lowest guys.
Well, who did you get?
My very first one was David Johnson at $51, right? But roughly,
so you got. I got Zeke Elliott for $51.
Okay, but not too far after that, Kyler Murray went, and I did not like him at $14. So now I had to get rid of my air raid offense.
I got Pat Mahomes at 31.
That was very high.
He
was the highest quarterback.
That's fine.
I ended up getting my starting quarterback, Aaron Rodgers, at $18. I also got Nick Chubb for $32.
That's pretty good. I like Nick. The Nick Chubb one, I liked. I wish I would have saved the money on Melvin Gordon. I got Melvin Gordon for $23.
Melvin Gordon may not play.
I know. I took a chance. For $23, I take that chance. I still got Patrick Lindsey and Darius Geis.
Because you also took Elliott, and Elliott may not play for.
Elliott's going to start. Trust me.
If he gets if they get him together, and
listen. Here's my ifs. If Melvin Gordon plays and if Zeke plays, this is what I have: Mahomes, Zeke, Melvin Gordon, with backups of Phillip Lindsay, who had a great rookie season, and Darius Geis, who we don't know yet, Amari Cooper, Adam Thielen, Sterling Shepard, Travis Kelce, and I still have Vance McDonald and my main man out of Pittsburgh, or out of Minnesota, Kyle Rudolph. I'm tight end heavy. I got Larry Fitzgerald, Rashad Penny.
Who's your backup quarterback?
Marcus Mariota.
How much did you pay for Mariota?
Not much.
$1.
Yeah.
I'm not sure I would have taken Mariota even at $1.
Well, you had to get a backup.
Well, yeah, but I would have found somebody else.
So
if I'm Mahomes, I only need Mariota for one game.
If I'm going with stars and scrubs, I'm looking for 3 guys roughly in about the $45 to $55 range, right? To eat up $150 of your $200 total salary. So you want a running back in the top tier, if not 2, and then add 1 wide receiver or vice versa.
So you're trying to get 3 players for $150.
Yeah. You're trying to figure out right there. You want to get about 90 plus for your fantasy points every week from those guys. You're going to throw away a couple buys. You have to work your buys and everything. So I didn't where Saquon Barkley was. He went high. I wasn't ready to pull the trigger at 64. Christian McCaffrey went at 63. Kamara went at 64 also. So I got in at David Johnson 51. And then it just kind of
I'm scared about that, James. I'm scared about that offense. I'm not sold on it, man.
It's going to have 1,000 rushing yards and 1,000 receiving yards.
Okay. I hope so, because I like David Johnson a lot.
Yeah, but I don't...
Obviously, being a local dude, I am a David Johnson fan. That being said, I just don't know what's going to happen with this offense.
Really think that Arizona is going to be bad this year. Because,
with the stock.
Cliff Kingsbury, when he was at Texas Tech, great offense, terrible defense.
Yeah.
I mean, they had no defense at Texas Tech.
It's the Big 12.
Well, yeah, that's true. The Big 12 never plays defense. But, I mean, even for the Big 12, Texas Tech's defense was awful.
What's more important, Jay, which we forgot to mention, everyone? We did this draft at Pints.
Yes.
And
we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
How about we'll talk about that? Because I just want to focus on... So in the top tiers of receivers, DeAndre Hopkins went 47, and I question what's going to happen there with in their quarterback situation, how long Deshaun Watson's going to be on his feet. So I was already going to stay away from him. Michael Thomas just signed a big contract. I don't like to sign players. I know that's more of a baseball thing, but I usually stay away from anybody signing a big contract. Devontae Adams went for 44, and at that point I wasn't on Aaron Rodgers, so I stayed away from him. And then Juju Smith-Schuster, I thought he brings a good social media presence to our team. So that's why I went after him. I got him at 36. But my receivers are not strong. After that, Will Fuller, I got him for 7. Marquise Valdez Scanlon for $4, but that was my connection with Aaron Rodgers. Josh Jacobs for 20, and no one liked my Noah Fant that I got for $5. I loved it.
No, I liked it. I was just giving you a hard time. I mean, listen, I would have loved to got him, but at this point, I already had Travis Kelce, and I just needed to.
You didn't go for Jason Witten?
No.
And he didn't even go.
He didn't even go. I love Witt, man.
So the auction was a lot of fun, and that's the beauty of an auction is you get to. I think at one point we were halfway through the draft, and we had someone in our league say, "All right, well, I need to fill my quarterback position." And I turned over my shoulder and I said, "It's an auction league. You can fill it at any time you want. You're not just because you're not." I mean, it was halfway through, and this guy was like, "And I'm going to nominate." And it's like, no, don't say that because now people can run up the thing. The other, the bid amount. The other thing is the part of auction is everyone's kind of has a similar value system in front of them.
Yeah, I mean, I'm looking at. I have a cheat sheet pulled up.
Yeah.
I mean, so if you're looking at my cheat sheet, they're saying the average and the lowest for Patrick Mahomes was 30 to 24. I paid 31. Okay. I mean, they're saying here on Zeke 29-33. I think that's low. I mean, they didn't value running backs very high in this. I mean, these things are just basically suggestions for you. But the one we had yesterday really didn't value quarterbacks at all.
Really?
Yeah, it had them down pretty low.
Auctions usually do, to be honest with you. They for some reason they value quarterbacks down. I don't know why. But my whole thing is to make sure that I was. Even if there was someone on here, let's just say that I didn't want Tyreek Hill on my team at all. And if the bid was somewhere around just at 22, and I think he's valued somewhere around 45, I'm still going to push that up. I want it to get to at least 50 to 60% of what the value is. Because, people are still kind of sitting on it, but then it'll go and it'll speed up and it'll get closer to it. But anytime you get to the going once, going twice, and you see that's not at 50%, you got to get those people to spend those extra dollars. And it always had. There was a lot of people that were happy with their teams. I heard a lot more than people that said they weren't. But we'll see how it goes. I don't know if there's anybody out there that I got out there that were sleepers outside of the receiver from Dolphins, Preston Williams. So that's the guy to keep an eye on. Undrafted receiver who they say could be their number one receiver. He's been wowing people with their catches. Mm-hmm. He likens himself to a unicorn.
My daughter would love him.
Yeah, so. I went and took a flyer on him for $1 at the end of it, so it was a lot of fun. But we also were talking about hosting drafts at Pints, right?
Yeah, and this is something if you're out there and you need to do a draft. Listen, a lot of places out there can set you up with stuff and say, "Oh, we can do your draft." Well, they only know how to do a snake draft. They don't know how to set it up for a dynasty draft, yep. Anything else. I mean, this thing that Jay can do at Pints is exceptional. He's the only one in the Quad Cities that knows how to do it. Well, period. Don't listen to anybody else. I'm telling you right now, this is the truth. Set it up, man, and it's great. The TV is what, a 70-inch TV?
Yeah,
70-inch TV. Your entire room is set up. People, there's no anymore. If you're like, is so and so off the board? You look up, and it's bright and big in your face.
And not everybody has to be present. Obviously, we stress having everyone present at auction. You should all be there unless everyone's doing online. But not everyone has to be present. You can give them a link to someone that lives out in, I don't care, Sarasota.
And that screen will come up on their link.
And it'll come up on their link.
Yeah.
The thing is that we ran across when someone was saying that they had a draft somewhere else. They said, well, the problem was the software that didn't carry IDP. And I was like, well, mine does. And it's not, all you had to do was just ask me. Or maybe theirs does, and they're just too lazy to figure it out.
Or not smart enough. Anyway.
Or not smart enough. I don't know. I really don't know. But I'm just saying, someone brought it up, and they were like, oh, but they couldn't do IDP. And I pulled my computer up, and I said, here, it's right here.
We got a lot of Sundays coming up before that. I know we have a couple of them scheduled. I want to say, Jay, we're going to do our 2 drafts on Monday.
Okay.
Of Labor Day Monday.
Gotcha.
For that, I'm going to set that up, and I'll let everybody out there. If you're listening, you're part of our keeper or our auction draft. That they're going to be on Monday, starting around 11 in the morning. But if you want to set up for Pints, get a hold of us through our Facebook. Listen, you can't beat these deals. It's $2.50 20-ounce domestic drafts on $3 you call. It's all day. And then when it's done, if you get done before 5, great. If not, you're inside. Music's on the Partio.
Partio?
5 to 8. Yeah.
Yeah, the Partio.
The Partio. We got Doug Brundy's next week, and then Bobby Bunch coming back. So like I said, we have 2 weeks left, and you can do it any other day of the week as well. And we have specials rocking it. So let us know. Saturdays are a good day as well. Got $2 wells.
College football starts this upcoming Saturday.
Yeah, and Iowa doesn't play till 6 o'clock, so you got all day
on the 31st. That's a week later.
Yeah.
Next week, though.
Yeah,
Florida,
nobody wants to watch Iowa State. Okay,
we play at 11 a.m. on the 31st against Northern Iowa.
I tell you what, Iowa State's are on the ball though. They've already cleared us for press passes. They want us to come. Yeah, they're like, hey, come watch us.
Did you have something to do with this stocking?
No, I did not.
Yeah, they've already reached out and said, hey, you guys. The only thing they didn't give us is
stocking show.
They didn't give us credentials for sideline photography. They've been flagged by the Big 12 for giving too many credentials for online sideline photography.
Sideline photography.
So yeah, we can go to the press box.
Is that because of you and your roller?
No.
Stocking still has the one you got to roll it to advance the film, don't you?
Another thing, well, we'll set up our media fantasy football league as well, and I'm still working on getting 2 more people in there. But I also want to remind you guys of other things you can do, and I'm going to write something up about this. It's called an NFL wins pool. Do you guys remember doing this?
Yeah, help me out.
That nightmare of a draft.
That's
we did
a
last year?
nightmare that we're not doing it ever again like that, where it's going to be a text. It'll be a slow play, if anything. Whoever I get in it, but we had 10 people in, and here's how this works. All right, I don't know the formula. This originally started and was written first by Bill Simmons on the Grantland. They still continue to do it on the Ringer. They actually have a live show about it, but it's a different type of gambling pool. All right, and it's called a wins pool. And what you do is you find 9 more friends. You get 9 friends if you have 9 friends. And then you decide on any type of entry fee or how it's going to be broken up. And then you come up with a draft order 1 through 10. Now, there's a drafting system to pick the teams. And there is no one's ever explained why the draft numbers are the way they are. It's just the guy was just some brainiac that gave it to Bill Simmons, and Bill Simmons has used it ever since. So, for example, if you get if you draw 1, you're going to pick, what you do is, with your 10 buddies, you pick 3 teams. All right? 2 teams obviously are going to be left out. And what you're doing is you're picking for wins. What teams are going to have the most totals there. So, yeah, like last year, Serge was the number 1 overall. He drew 1. But that doesn't mean he gets 1 and then it snakes back around. He would get picks 1, 20, and 26. All right, for example, and then I was...
To keep everything balanced.
Yes, because it's an algorithm to it. And for example, like I was a 10th overall, and I got the 10th, the 12th, and the 24th pick.
See, Jay's like Zuckerberg. This is how he tricks us. He's a crook.
Yeah, that's what it was.
I just teased.
So,
yes, but it's correct.
Algorithm.
It's a weighted formula for weighted picks, so everything is balanced in the end.
So Jay can take our money.
Who'd you pick?
Okay,
I don't know. Jay took my money.
Troy was picked 4th overall. Okay, he went 4, 18, and 25.
Who did I take?
He took the Saints with the 4th overall pick. You want me to tell you how it went last year?
Yeah.
First pick for this is last year.
Well, yeah. Give everybody that Serge, Jay, and Troy took.
Okay, but the first team that was taken was the Patriots last year.
That was Sergi.
Yes.
That was smart.
They end up with 11 wins. The second pick was Rosso. He took the Vikings.
Oh.
They had 8. Then our boy Mitch took the Eagles. They had 9. Troy, you took the Saints. They had 13 wins.
Started out really good. Stock. Now watch.
Erickson had the Rams. He took. They had 13 wins. Nick Taffanelli took 9. Took the Steelers. They had 9 wins. Chopper, the Falcons. They had 7 wins. Brockman, Packers, 6 wins. Andy from the Natty Jags. They had 5. At 10, I took the Chargers. They had 12. All right, now for the rest of it, just Serge, you took Patriots, the Raiders with the 20th pick, the Dolphins with the 26th pick. The Raiders, they were second to last for the lowest amount of wins for the season out of all the teams that were taken. They had 4 wins, and the Dolphins had 7. You ended up with 22 wins as a team. T-Roy, you followed up at number 18 with the Broncos. They had 6 wins, and 25, you took the Cardinals. They had 3 wins. You ended up with 22 as well.
See what happens?
With the 10th pick, I took the Chargers. The 12th, I took the Texans. They had 11 wins. The 24th pick, I took the Bears. They had 12 wins.
Cheater.
Yep.
35. Why didn't you take the Bears, though?
Clearly.
I don't know what was going on.
I won by 4 games. The lowest amount total was 15. The highest was 35. Everybody else was real close in the 20s. So the thing is...
Did you win it all?
I did, yeah.
See what I said? Algorithm. No, Jay takes your money.
Well, he took the Bears. He went out on the limb.
With the 24th pick, that's 23 times before. You just got to find the right schedule, I guess.
I was high on Case Keenum, man.
You could also do this with total losses, but I just don't think it sounds as fun.
Oh.
Yeah,
I like that though.
We might run it back then. We'll fill this out, but it's again. I'll write something up. It's just something else that you can do it. And you know what else? We also suggested that if you have a 10-team league that is like a keeper league, and you're always going to have the same 10, you can rely on them. We said that at the end of your draft, you should do this draft, and then whoever wins the total wins. That's your draft order for the next year. That's what we suggested last year.
Yeah.
That's if you get, you can get 10 people to continue to be in the league every year. So, I just think it's something fun to do afterwards.
You were talking about,
you
were talking about Case Keenum, and this past weekend, word out of Washington is that the Redskins aren't going to go with Colt McCoy because he's not ready yet, and they're going to have to go with Case Keenum as
What do you mean he's
quarterback.
not ready yet?
I guess he had he had a broken leg last year against Philadelphia on that Monday night. I guess he's had like 3 surgeries, and they're not, and he's still not yet ready to play a league game, and they might miss
Don't
the
be
first
hating on my
couple
boy.
weeks. So it's gonna be Case Keenum. Time for the Redskins.
I hate that he plays for the Redskins.
Well, he's gonna be there. Someone's gonna be their quarterback till week 10.
Haskins is gonna be their quarterback.
Yeah, November 17th. That's when he takes over, and he goes 3-3. The last 6 weeks of the year.
Haskins is not ready.
4-3. He goes 4-3. I have Haskins for the final 7 weeks of the season.
Does he beat you haven't beaten the Jets.
Yep, Jets at home beats Detroit. Beats Detroit at home. Goes on the road to Carolina, wins.
Nope.
And then beats the Giants at home. Haskins is going to take over roughly between November 3rd and November 17th, week 10 bye.
He's going to have to accelerate his learning curve because, from what I heard, he's not ready to take snaps in a league game.
He's got 3 months to do this.
Well,
all right, Stock. If you got the number 1 overall pick in the Quad City Sports Minds League, right? That's what we're calling it.
Okay, well we are now because that sounds really good.
All right, Quad City Sports Minds League, the one we were in last year. We got all the minds of the Quad City sports people. And you got the first overall pick because you probably should. You had the crappiest team.
I did not have the worst team. I had a pretty decent squad.
No, you had the crappiest team. You had the worst record overall.
No, I was tied for last. I didn't have the worst.
That's because Serge didn't set his lineup. Anyway. So a guy that didn't set his lineup. All right, you have the worst team. Anyway, go. Who's your first pick?
Well, I believe in quarterbacks.
I know you do.
So I would probably go with Phillip Rivers.
Again?
Come on! The number 1 overall.
Please, let's give Stocky the number 1 pick.
I like Phillip Rivers as a quarterback.
So does his 9 kids.
Oh, it's great.
Huh?
Stock your 1-1.
Not one of his 9 kids would take him 1-1.
He has 12.
He's got
Not even one. Not even 12. Other than 12.
I think he has 10. I think he's 1 kid away from a team.
No, I think he's got 9. Because I think he would be the quarterback of his family team.
It reminds me of that Dice Clay joke. There
You're
was an
not
old lady that
taking
lived
Phillip
in his
Rivers
shoes.
1-1.
I don't know
Stocky.
who I would take yet.
Well, how about not him? Start over.
No, let him go, man. Hey,
Or Tom Brady.
perfect.
I believe in taking a quarterback.
There you go.
Good. Well, all right.
All right, Stock, you're 1-1.
I would not take Mitchell Trubisky, though.
Oh, we're gonna hurt
Serge
Serge's-
could take Trubisky.
I got him for $3 yesterday. I believe in Biscuit.
Don't be trying to hurt
He'll be
Serge's
just fine.
feelings over there.
No, I told him he could take him.
You can't hurt my feeling, T-Roy.
Oh,
My feeling.
I have one.
I have a cold dead heart. I'm told at home all the time.
David Montgomery went for $23 yesterday. That's pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I got Melvin Gordon for $23.
Kerryon Johnson went for 22. Yeah. Josh Jacobs went for 20. So anyway, obviously any draft you're in, you're going to have to deal with the geographic bias.
Oh yeah. I mean, but it was great having your brother there because I would bring up Patriots and just sit over and just watch.
Just try not to wear a jersey to the draft unless it's like unless you're throwing somebody off.
Dude next to me,
I already saw it.
Dude next to
yesterday.
me had the Bear jersey on. He was a great guy, but I mean, there was times when I'm like, well, here we go, and I would just bring up Bears defense.
Yeah, you got to do it.
You know, and I knew he'd get the $2 going on it. least. I think he ended up going for 4, which is fine. I mean, that's a good defense to have.
Anderson wants to know if you and Money are going to finish strong tonight.
Tell Anderson not only are Jason and I going to finish strong, because right now Jason is home. He's doing he's doing a lot of yoga. He's doing a lot of Cheech and Chong.
Yeah, man.
Mellow.
Hey, man.
He's getting all calmed down. We got a big match between Gibb and Harris. They're chasing us. The pressure's on them.
We'll get back to in a second. You ready? Got a phone call.
You're on Don't Hassle Us Local. Who do we have?
Brownsbacker here.
Brownsbacker. There you go, brother.
Now, you know that I'm all about the fantasy football talk. You know I love that.
Uh-huh.
But let's talk about we're 4 days in on sports betting. Has anyone won a sports bet yet?
Not Jay.
Not Jay. Let me tell you where I was at. First off, did you see I posted on social media just on that Thursday alone I did a 5-team parlay. I went 0 for 5.
Oh.
So that was sad.
So when we're giving our gambling advice out there, you may not want to listen to Bird.
So then
it's for entertainment purposes only.
Yes.
So then I was like, all right, let's cool it back. Let's dial it back a little bit. And I think, what did I put? I put a bet on I actually took the Pirates money line on Saturday, and the Cubs won. They won 2-0, and then I took one more bet. It was a preseason football game, and the over/under. I took the under in the Texans Lions game.
You bet on preseason football.
I did bet on preseason football.
And was it under?
Yeah, no,
It was over. 30-23 was the Houston winner.
So what about you?
I've made 3 sports bets,
Mm-hmm.
and I went 2 for 3 on all 3 of them, and I keep losing on like crazy stuff.
Yeah.
Like a UFC Saturday night.
Gotcha. Here we go.
I need Daniel Cormier to win,
Mm-hmm.
and he wins like the first 3.5 rounds, and then all of a sudden he's like, I'm done.
Did he lose?
Yeah, he got knocked out in the 4th. Yeah.
Oh wow, I missed all this.
Okay. Last night I have the Cubs and the under, which is under 10,
Uh-huh.
and that went crazy near the end, but it held up.
Yeah.
And I have the football game going under 41, and I lost literally with 4 minutes left in the game on a 2-point conversion.
In
I'm
preseason
laughing with
football.
you, brother. I'm not laughing at you, man.
That I'm thinking, okay, the Vikings scored. It's going to be okay. They kicked the extra point. It's going to be at 40. It's under 41. And then they come out, and the Seahawks are like, what are they doing? And the guy literally moonwalked into the end zone for the 2-point conversion.
That is brutal.
I think they need to get rid of the overtime for the NFL preseason. Just if a preseason game ends in a tie, just leave it be a tie, because the coaches don't want to do it. You're seeing all of them. You know, if it's like, I remember watching one game a couple years ago. It was 17-10. They score on the last play of the game. 99 out of 100 times in the regular season, they're going to kick the extra point, go to overtime. They went for 2. It's like, you know, the coaches don't want to play overtime, so they might as well just can overtime in the preseason and just say, if it ends in a tie, it ends in a tie.
All right, question for Brownbacker.
Well, I didn't appreciate the 2-point conversion either, but hey, I'm not the one playing the game. So,
all right, brother,
So
are you high on your brownies?
now-
Are you high on your brownies?
What's that?
Your Browns. How you feeling?
I've already told you. I've already put them in the Super Bowl. I'm just trying to figure out who they're going to play.
All right. You're gonna play the Cowboys, right? Come on, man.
So I got 3 teams. I got 3 tonight.
Okay.
I'm gonna give them to you real quick.
Love
you
it.
can get on 2 of them coming in, and you got to figure out which one's not going to win.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
I love
All
it.
right, go.
We're taking the 49ers. And
Over
we're taking
Denver.
that game to go under, and then we're going to couple that with the Milwaukee Brewers.
Okay. All
I
right.
guarantee 2 of them are coming in.
Okay.
I have a bet on it, so that's what's going to happen.
So you took the 49ers and the under.
Yep.
So they're playing the
And I took
Broncos.
the Milwaukee. Yep.
In Denver.
And you took Brewers what now?
The 49ers, the under, and then the Brewers.
Okay.
All right. So you've got
I put my usual J $5 bet on it.
perfect.
I'll get like $25 if it is, whatever.
Okay.
Brewers are playing.
They're playing at St. Louis.
At St. Louis. Okay.
Zach Davies is throwing for the Brewers. He's 8-5 on the year, 3.74 ERA. Dakota Hudson is throwing for the Cardinals, 11-6, 3.82, and that's got to be getting you. You got the money line there.
Yep.
All right, that's got to be. Let me pull it up. Serge doesn't beat me to it.
Good.
Where's the money line? So, yeah, you're at plus probably about. Well, it opened up at St. Louis minus 120, so it's currently at minus 130. So you probably got the Brewers anywhere about plus 125.
Yep.
All right, and then what's the 49ers line?
Denver's -1, I believe, currently.
All right, Denver's
And
minus
is it
1.
at Denver or is it
Yeah, it's at Denver. From my side, Jimmy Garoppolo will play tonight.
Oh, Jimmy G.
And you have Nick Mullins and C.J. Beathard fighting for a second-string job. I think the 49ers.
I would say
defense is really good. That's
you
why I'm
say
taking
two
Denver.
are going to hit. If I have to pick right now, the two that will hit will be the Niners and the Brewers. Out of what you said, I don't think that under hits.
All right, we'll see.
All right, buddy.
All right.
Later, guys.
Yeah, thanks
See
for
you,
calling. I
man.
appreciate it.
See you.
What is the under in that?
Whatever it is, it can't be low enough or high enough. There's gonna be a lot of points because you got guys like you said. You got two quarterbacks vying for the second spot. I think you got. You're not gonna have a lot of the good defensive guys out there. I don't think on either team.
Well, like I said, the under, and then I thought I thought the Chiefs Steelers would be over. That was it. That went off at 46 for a preseason game. That went under. And
Way
then
under.
the Bears, 32-13, the Bears lost. That hit over. I don't know. It's
Chiefs Steelers was 17-7 Pittsburgh.
I thought he said the under was.
But they
40.
also had a thunderstorm that delayed.
that
the game
delayed
an
the
hour.
game, but Tomlin, he brought it. He said Landry Jones is going to play.
Serge played
Not
in the
Landry Jones,
thunderstorm before, right? That's why he's been thunderstruck.
The worst song ever.
All right, let's take a break. Come back. We'll talk a little bit more about some of this fancy stuff. We need to talk about Western Big Six and
Yes.
high school football, and then we got to get into college because the AP poll just came out. We got to talk
Ooh-wee.
college. We got to talk college
Ooh-wee,
football.
baby.
So let's talk college football when we come back.
Front Street Brewery is
And
the
Heisman.
oldest brew pub in the state of Iowa, and it's nestled beautifully along the bank of the mighty Mississippi. It's served the fine community of Davenport since 1992. They have a lot of great beers like the Davenport Gold, the Wise Guy, the Raging River, and the oh-so-popular Cherry Bomb Blonde. Check out their Facebook page for all the drink specials and visit the webpage at www.frontstreetbrew.com. They are now open in the tap room that's in the Freight House complex. And as we're told, real soon back at 208 East River Drive. We're looking at maybe early October. So make sure you check them out. Those are our friends from Front Street Brewery.
Hey, this is Goose, PA announcer for the Quad City Storm, and you're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
Do it again, a little more heart.
Big news for car buyers. It's a corporate ordered clearance at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. Here's Gavin McGrath.
We're overstocked. Over 2,500 quality pre-owned vehicles are all clearance priced. Payments from $167 a month. Certified used trucks from $10,988.
That's clearance pricing. Plus, even bigger news if you're looking to trade.
We trade for anything regardless of mileage or age.
Tug it. Tow it.
Tell us where it is. Get top dollar and clearance pricing at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
Payments as low as $167 a month.
The Quad City's best selection of certified pre-owned trucks from $10,988. Clearance pricing for everyone. All credit applications accepted.
And we're trading for anything.
Close. No firearms or spouses, please.
The McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport, 4618 North Brady Street. Log on McGrathAuto.com.
In business, is it better to build your way to growth or buy your way? First Midwest Bank has ideas. It's a critical decision and different for every company. A First Midwest commercial banker can help you weigh your options because at First Midwest, they're not just bankers, but expert financial advisors. Talk to one today or visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. M&A momentum, strategic momentum, business momentum. First Midwest Bank.
It's time to bet. Place your bets with Elite Sportsbook at Rhythm City Casino Resort. We're Iowa-based, locally owned, and Iowa's preferred sportsbook. Football, baseball, college, or pro. Bet anytime, anywhere in Iowa. Visit Draft Day Sports Lounge at Rhythm City Casino and start betting now. Online betting coming soon for active Resort Club members. Not a Resort Club member? Visit Rhythm City Casino Resort now to join. Membership is free. Make every game better with Elite Sportsbook at Rhythm City Casino Resort. Subject to RGC approval. Must be 21. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
ESPN 93.5 is the Quad City sports leader and home of your local sports show, Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Listen for a chance to win everything from tickets to free food. Every time you win and pick up your prize at the ESPN 93.5 Pepsi ticket window, we'll give you a Pepsi for the road as well. It's like winning twice. Get more chances to win by downloading the ESPN 93.5 app or going to ESPN935.com. From the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
ESPN 93.5 wants you to be an insider. Access great contests and giveaways and be in the know at ESPN935.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged, and ESPN Quad Cities. From local to global, ESPN 93.5 has you covered with your Quad Cities sports talk show. It's Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Talk sports with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jay Bird, Serge, and you. Weekdays from noon to 2 on ESPN 93.5.
From the first pitch to the last out, you'll hear every inning of Chicago Cubs baseball on ESPN 93.5.
He's at the warning track. It's at the wall. So long.
Presented by Frick's Tap, Glens Creek Golf Course, G&G Retailers, Augustana College Athletic Department, Sexton Ford, American Family Insurance, Adam Rattler Agency.
Game over. Cubs win.
The Chicago Cubs are on the Quad City sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
All right, race fans, want to remind you at Harrington's Pubs, halfway to St. Patrick's Day 5K. It's the 5th annual. Make sure you get there. It's to benefit Parkinson's research, Saturday, September 14th at 9 a.m. You can sign up now through getmeregistered.com/halfway St. Pat's Day 5K or in person at Harrington's Pub, 2321 Cumberland Square in Bettendorf. All proceeds go to the Michael J. Fox Foundation, with 100% of that going directly to research. Once again, Harrington's Pub, halfway to St. Patrick's Day 5K to benefit Parkinson's research, Saturday, September 14th, 9 a.m., 2321 Cumberland Square in Bettendorf.
Looking at the Harrington scoreboard from yesterday, Los Angeles Angels beat the White Sox 9-2. The Cardinals lost to the Cincinnati Reds they beat the Cincinnati Reds 5-4. The Mets 11-5 over the Royals. Cubbies, Pittsburgh Pirates 7-1. I want to come back and talk about that because I like that game a lot, and we were watching it last night. Minnesota Twins beat the Rangers 6-3. The Nationals beat the Brewers 16-8. Also, yesterday, Pete Alonso knocked in the 40th home run of the year, moved in past Cody Bellinger's NL rookie home run record. The last two owners of the NL home run record, that's Cody Bellinger and Frank Robinson, went on to win the NL Rookie of the Year, so obviously that helps his chances quite a bit. Most home runs by a rookie of all time is 52. Second is by Aaron Judge. Second is Mark McGwire, 49, and that he hit in 1987. And Pete Alonso now sitting at 40. Yesterday, Kevin Gausman for the Cincinnati Reds had the immaculate inning. Struck out Munoz, Fowler, and Edman on a combined 9 pitches. The immaculate inning is where a pitcher strikes out all 3 batters with 9 consecutive strikes. It has been recorded by 91 different pitchers, but this is actually Gausman's second career immaculate inning. His first coming April 23rd, 2018 as a Baltimore Oriole. He joins a very exclusive list of pitchers to record multiple immaculate innings. Stocking, do you know any of them?
Steve Carlton, maybe?
Steve Carlton's not on the list for twice doing an immaculate inning.
Jim Palmer?
Palmer's not on that list either.
Let's see.
Immaculate, and I'll go Sandy Koufax.
Sandy Koufax is on that list.
I'll go Bob Gibson.
Not on that list.
I'll go Cy Young.
Not on that list.
Don Drysdale.
Not on that list.
Whitey Ford, singing the blues.
No. There's only 7 total.
Doc Gooden.
No. It's not easy. I mean,
I know.
Yeah.
Greg Maddux.
Greg Maddux not on the list.
Clemens.
Wow. Greg Maddux would not. I don't think so. He likes to move it around. No.
So I got Koufax. How many are on the list?
7 total.
7.
And you've got Gausman and you've got Koufax. So that leaves 5 more.
Schilling?
Nope.
The big unit?
Yes. Randy Johnson is on that list.
Mussina.
No, Mike Mussina's not on that list.
We're forgetting about relievers. Steve Smith.
No. Lee Smith, no.
Are there
Lee Smith.
any relievers on the list?
No.
Really?
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan.
Nolan Ryan is on the list. So far, you got Sandy Koufax, Nolan Ryan, Randy Johnson, Kevin Gossman. Two more are currently playing. One just hit the injured reserve list. Actually, I think two are on the injured reserve list. Scherzer is on this list, yes.
Baumgartner?
Baumgartner, no.
Kershaw?
No.
You know, you went to high school with Matt Stafford.
It makes me laugh every time.
I know. That's why I do it every time.
I'll give you the other one, the other two. Chris Sale did it, and Lefty Grove did it as well.
Okay.
So yeah,
I didn't do too bad.
No,
I mean, we're throwing everything out there in the world, but
no. Today's game, the Royals are at Baltimore. That's a 6:05 game. Like we talked about, Milwaukee at St. Louis, 6:45, and the White Sox are on the road in Minnesota. Kyle Gibson's on the mound, 11-5, 4.28 ERA against Ivan Nova, 8-9, 4.51. I really hope your White Sox lay down for those Twins. It'd be nice.
Twins need this series.
Serge's like,
yes, they do.
No way, dude.
I see on the Harrington's Pub Facebook comment line, TK said that Draft Day Lounge up at the River City Casino was busy.
Yep. Good
to hear. I had a couple buddies there as well. Big Dyke and Martin were up there. So I'm glad to hear that they no cover up there. They had the UFC. I'm glad it went well. The question about to ask them that I want to know, and I will ask when we talk to Alex probably tomorrow, is how they do that with DirecTV. Do they consider the draft day? Do you think the draft day gets a separate liquor license and fire code? Because that's pretty expensive. Because you think how DirecTV works. You pay by your occupancy.
Oh, no. Let me tell you how DirecTV works, Jay. They don't care who you are. Yeah, they are paying for the entire
thing,
building.
That's a lot of money.
They might get a break as per se if they're DirecTV, like in the rooms of the hotels. But when they're adding, like just say they're saying, okay, we're not going to give the Sunday ticket to the rooms. All right?
Yeah.
So they might get a break for that.
Think about Draft Day Lounge. It's squared off. There's got to be an occupancy for just that, right?
There should be.
Because this is what's going to happen down at. Now, hear me out.
Are there any? Let me ask you this: are there any TVs out in the regular casino?
Yes.
Are they going to have?
I do not know. It's TK. If TK's still out there, can you let me know if he says that on the Harrington's Pub comment line if they had that on the other ones?
If they go in, and what you can do is because I guarantee they have to have more than one dish that's getting all this stuff bringing into the casino. So let's go with that first.
Okay.
What they'll probably do is they'll say, okay, if they have a smart enough sales rep or a smart enough rep talking to them about it, they probably have it limited to the 3 receivers that go into the draft day, and then you have each TV has its own receiver, or what, you know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
You can pair some of them off, whatever. But if they can limit it to that and limit it to then they'll do it. But they're still, they are well over 100 occupancy seating, so they're paying the full buck.
Because I don't know the way William Hill is set up down at Isle, because they're going to have to. They'll have to pay the entire floor for that.
Once you get over a certain amount of seats, I don't think it gets any bigger than that.
Well,
I think it's under 100 is the price, and then over 100 you're.
It leads to the question of, obviously they're paying. They got the UFC, so they'll probably get DirecTV. I don't know if William Hill or if Isla Capri is going to. The reason why I bring that up is I was at the Isla Capri in Waterloo this weekend, and the William Hill Lounge, they do not have DirecTV. They as of right now in Waterloo, I can't speak for Bettendorf, but they are not getting the package.
All right, well, here's something. It's pretty easy to go ahead and buy just the NFL Red Zone channel on its own.
That's not what you want to do if you're going to go watch it.
I understand that's not what you want to do, but you have that, which will give you every score, and then you'll have.
Think about this also.
You'll have the games that are played locally.
Let me tell you something else. Currently, DirecTV and CBS are not getting along.
I understand that.
So you don't have the ticket, and you don't have CBS.
Which is scaring me right now. So let's just say if we're in a war with CBS right now with our DirecTV, and our first Bears-Packers game or whatever it is, let's just say a Bears or Packers game that's not this first game, but the first game they have, if it's played on CBS, will it be blocked out because it's quote-unquote local station? Or will we still be able to get it on through our package? Because if we don't get it through our package, I'm going to raise holy hell.
Well, we have antenna for CBS. We're fine.
Okay.
We are 100% covered. We have antenna.
That's right.
So we'll be fine, no
You
matter
have such
what.
a beautiful mind.
Thank you very much. Beautiful head of hair and a beautiful mind.
Can I
right?
touch it? Can I touch that
No.
hair?
No. All right.
I'm going to call Jill.
Stocking, what do you got in front of you? I'm excited.
I've got my schedule book that I wrote. I have my schedule book, the score schedule. My
And
score
everybody,
schedule
you
book.
can't see this. He has this
And
color
also,
coordinated, by the way.
I have my some football stats players that are coming
I mean,
up.
Stocking. I mean, I got to tell everybody. One's purple. Now he has them labeled, so you didn't have to get different colors, but he has them labeled and color coordinated.
Yeah, I go to Staples and buy notebooks for a quarter, and my school.
That was only a quarter.
Yeah, you go to Staples.
Are these college ruled?
Yes.
Look at that.
I always get college ruled.
I get
Of course
college
you do.
ruled, too. Is there any smaller than college ruled?
No.
There's wide ruled and college ruled.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. Before we get into the local stuff, let's talk college real quick. The AP just came out today. The top 25. It's not going to be a shock to many.
Iowa's 20 and Iowa State's 21.
Yep.
Wow. Was that off the top of your head, or did you get a...
I already knew that.
Okay. In the coaches poll, Iowa is 19th. Iowa State is 24. Coaches are so smart. But number one is Clemson. They got 52 of the first place votes.
Shocker.
Alabama's second with 10.
Shocker.
Then it goes Georgia, Oklahoma, Ohio State, LSU, Michigan, Florida, Notre Dame, Texas. No different at all in the coaches poll in the top 10. Then Oregon's on the outside looking in the AP, Texas A&M, Washington, Utah, Penn State, Auburn, UCF, Michigan State, Wisconsin, then Iowa. Iowa State, Syracuse, Washington State, Nebraska, Stanford. So
Jay's wearing a Nebraska neck warmer right now.
that's what he calls my mullet, I guess. What are you thinking about Iowa State here, Stocking?
Well,
Bring me your nonsense.
The first thing is Matt Campbell, in his 3 years at Iowa State, has never had one quarterback take all the starts. His first year, he had Joel Lanning and Jacob Park. Then in 2017, the year they went to the Liberty Bowl, they had Jacob Park. Then they went to they had Jacob Park. I think Joel Lanning had a game, and then Kyle Kempt. And last year, it was Kyle Kempt, it was Zeb Nolan, then Brock Purdy. So, he changes quarterbacks more than George Steinberg changed managers.
Well,
Or more than some people change underwear.
Well, I don't know about his
Did you hear about
sartorial splendor, but
They say half of Americans wear their underwear more than one day at a time. Do you believe that, Stocking? That's gross, isn't it?
That does not surprise me.
I'm an everyday changer if I'm wearing it.
are we being honest here?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm not going to comment on other people's sartorial splendor.
I'm just saying
in that area.
I mean,
Here's where-
if I'm wearing drawers, I change them every day.
Here's where mine.
Did you hear the qualifier? If
Yeah. No, that's true. We all
I
know
don't
that.
like underwear, man.
Yeah.
It's restrictive.
Usually, I'll carry it over into the next day, but then I go to the gym and I shower at the gym. Then I put on a new pair, obviously. But so it's
I'll
still
give
kind
you
of
that
2
pass.
days in a row. All right.
You know you're going to sweat in it, so
Yeah.
why sweat in a brand new pair?
Yeah.
I'm with you there. You're fine, Jay. You pass the dirty or not dirty test.
Good. That makes me happy.
Because otherwise you're going to get Fremunda cheese, and you don't want that.
Stop that.
I'm just saying, Stock. Am I right or am I right? Stock's with me.
I'm trying to look up the thing. Did you see the post where Brock Purdy was listed the number 8 quarterback in the nation?
Yeah, Stocking. Did you write that?
No, I did not write
sure
that.
That wasn't his own pen name?
No,
right.
I know he's on the Davey O'Brien list,
Yeah,
watch list, but a lot of quarterbacks are.
Yeah, but I mean, this list put him at.
This is ridiculous.
I would not have him at number 8. No.
So this list is from PFF.com. So that would be.
Well, it's usually PFF is pretty solid. It really disappoints me.
So yes, they ranked all the NCAA quarterbacks all the way down to 130, and they put Brock Purdy at number 8. Had it not been for Trevor Lawrence, Purdy may be the most polarizing true sophomore quarterback in the country. Still, his effort in the backfield, for the Cyclones, and his 89.3 overall grade is the second highest we've ever given to a true freshman quarterback behind Lawrence. He was solid in every outing, save for a tune-up game against Drake in Week 14 last year, and performed well from a clean pocket with pressure applied. Year 2's expectations are sky high in Ames for this bright young signal caller. You don't really believe that Campbell's going to change out the number 8 quarterback according to PFF.com.
Right,
not if they do as people think. But
he had a warm-up game against Drake, and then
he started his season. He started against Oklahoma State in midseason after Zed Nolan was dreadful against TCU, and then
did he win that game?
No, they lost that game to TCU.
What about Oklahoma State?
Yes, they won that game 48-42. And
right.
Purdy threw a lot of passes to Hakeem Butler. The question is, who's gone? Do they have a receiver who can make the catches that Hakeem Butler made? Although Hakeem Butler did drop a lot of easy balls, but he always caught the.
Didn't Hakeem Butler get drafted by the Seahawks?
No, the Cardinals.
Oh.
He he did the Javier Baez, the easy routine stuff. He booted, but the play that you see on SportsCenter, top 10 as number 1, you're like, how did he make that play? That's what Hakeem Butler did with his catches.
Okay.
Comparison in the state of Iowa at number 51 is Iowa's Nate Stanley. By PFF.com, they say lower than some would expect. Stanley just doesn't have the PFF grades that warrant the kind of hype he's received in terms of the 2020 NFL Draft. He finished last year with a career low grade despite throwing for 26 touchdowns for the second consecutive season. In a clear example of his play on the field, Stanley actually had 8 more touchdowns than big-time throws and 5 fewer interceptions than he had turnover-worthy plays. Still, Stanley wins more often than not and should once again keep the Hawkeyes in contention for the Big Ten.
I think Stanley is a good quarterback. I mean, I saw that game against Iowa State the last time they came to Ames. He led like 4 drives that were 85 yards, and 3 of them were 90 yards plus. I mean, you just don't do that. And, that doesn't just happen. That's because you're a good quarterback, is to make plays like that.
So what are you thinking about Iowa State this year?
I've got the Cyclones 6-6, 4-5 in the Big 12, 6-6 overall. I just think there's going to be a few games that they're just not going to. I don't think they're going to beat Oklahoma. I don't think they'll beat Texas. I have them even losing to Kansas.
Wow. Really?
Kansas
in
gives
football?
Yes, yeah. Kansas gives Iowa State fits. And I think that Les Miles is going to have Kansas. They're going to pull a few upsets this year. Kansas will.
All right, we'll have to keep our eye on that. What about the Hawkeyes?
I have Iowa at 4-5 in the Big Ten, 7-5 overall.
Stocking. Go through the schedule. Come on,
Stocking.
I think they lose to Northwestern. I think they lose to Michigan. I mean, Wisconsin. They lose to Nebraska at the end of the year.
Get out of here.
Nebraska's going to win the Big Ten West.
I'm gonna have to have your boss give you a mandatory drug test.
Get out of here. 7-5.
Stocking.
4-5 in the Big Ten.
Stocking.
I just don't.
You haven't beaten Iowa State.
Stocking. They have a senior quarterback.
Yes, but I'm picking Iowa State to win that game. But But if you put a gun to my head, I'm gonna pick Iowa. I have to pick Iowa.
Okay.
I'm ready to.
But the thing though is you look. I don't know who Stanley's gonna throw to, because last year he did throw to Noah Fant and T.J. Hawkinson, and those players are now gone. And I don't see the same players that they
rinse
have.
And repeat, man. They got Espinosa rushing the passer. They're gonna. Man, there's too much senior leadership on this team to go 7-5, my brother.
I see them going slipping and going 7-5. They've struggled in the past years with Purdue.
Tight end to you, dude. We're just gonna rinse and repeat. Just plug the next guy in.
The one thing though is they will beat Illinois, and they'll beat them. They might beat them worse than they beat them in Chambana last year, 63-0.
They'll beat Miami of Ohio.
Allman
Rutgers,
can beat Illinois.
Iowa State. I don't. Well,
my God. See, Andy from the Natty out there in the Harrington's pub Facebook comment thread when Stocking said, I don't know who he's going to throw to. He said probably his receivers. But I actually think if you break that down, he's still right, though, because you're going to have some experience out there. You're going to have some new guys out there, but it's a chance for somebody else to shine. It's just because these guys graduate or move on and go get drafted doesn't mean, we're screwed. They're going to, how many times have the New England Patriots lost that little slot receiver and found somebody new?
To as a Lion Eye. I'm sorry, Schimmel. I can't be nice to a team that's not good.
Did you see over the weekend that somebody tried to create waves on their Twitter buzz and said that Oliver Martin has been, per sources, granted immediate eligibility?
So I'm liking something that wasn't true?
What do you think I did? First thing I did, I texted Kakert. I said, I haven't seen anything on your Twitter. He's like, nah, this guy's just trying to create a buzz on his Twitter. What is the weight on Oliver Martin?
Yeah, I thought Michigan gave him full clearance to go.
Oh, did they? Maybe you heard that over a press conference. You've seen all the stuff going between them and the University of Cincinnati, right? Harbaugh may say that he gives clearance or whatever else, but behind the scenes, it doesn't seem like he's giving much clearance.
He's a jagbag.
He's talking out both sides of his mouth.
Well, a lot of people would say that he did that when he was quarterback of the Bears.
Harbaugh's hard to tell what ends it with which Harbaugh.
I'm just saying, even if he did it, he just said, basically he came out and said he was shocked by the transfer, going to transfer portal. We had him listed as the number 1 wide receiver, great kid, blah, blah, blah. He never said anything like, oh yeah, it's great. He did. I think that's when he went on to say everyone should be able to leave once, But then again, Cincinnati called his bluff, and they're like, what about this defensive lineman that you basically he said that the kid was faking depression. He said he was faking a mental illness, a depression, to be able to transfer, and the kid's not getting granted his transfer eligibility to play for Cincinnati.
I think that
it's disgusting.
Yeah, I think that Oliver Martin should be allowed to transfer. I mean, there's players transferring everywhere.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, if you're going to take a stand, then don't allow transfers to come into Michigan. If you're going to, honestly, if you're that upset about transfers going places, then don't allow transfers to come into Michigan.
Yeah, we lost a guy to Michigan, right? Iowa did.
I'm just saying the whole thing, like the whole transfer portal, to say like it's like a hostile work environment or whatever else. Like you feel like personally threatened on campus. That's one way to get through it. I mean, that's how Fields left, and he made it to Ohio State. It's just, I'm not saying, I don't want to just single out one person, but it's just weird how they grant some and they don't.
Yeah, the transfer thing is totally messed up. I mean, I remember you had to a transfer was like the last resort, and now, it started with Russell Wilson saying, well, I was at NC State. They didn't have my major. They didn't have grad courses in my major.
I understand the grad.
So I went to Wisconsin. Well, now it's like everybody's
down in Florida State now. He's done it Wisconsin, but
now everybody's doing it because allegedly no one's got a major for football players, I guess. Mm-hmm. And now you've got underclassmen transferring at the drop of a hat. Some are eligible, some aren't. It's a chaotic mess, and the NCAA needs to step up and handle this, which is what their job is. And again, the NCAA has to sleep at the switch. They're supposed to be running the store, and they're not.
Let's take a quick break and let's talk some high school football stocking.
Okay.
Tell us what we need to be looking for this year. Some names that maybe we should be looking at. Some programs up on the rise, or some that are going to be the same. And just get ourselves ready because we're
actually week 0 is Friday night.
That's right.
Columbus at Cardinal.
All right, Columbus at Cardinal. Here we go. Week 0, Friday night. All right.
If you want the latest in TV and security technology but don't know where to start, you need to call Dunright TV and Security Solutions, your Dish premier local retailer, and get started today. They're going to take the guesswork out of choosing the latest in smart home technology with your budget in mind. Dish has been a leader in technology for years, and their Hopper Smart HD DVR interacts with your smart speaker to change channels, pause, and fast forward with just the sound of your voice. When you sign up today, you're going to receive a Nest doorbell system free, courtesy of our friends at Dunright. Call 866-84-RIGHT and let Dunright provide local, professional installation with personal service that's trusted by thousands of homeowners and businesses in the Quad Cities. Restrictions apply and requires an internet-connected Hopper. That's Dunright TV and Security, 866-84-RIGHT.
This is Randall, the QC hot dog guy. You're listening to Don't Hassle Us, We're Local on ESPN 93.5.
It's time to bet. Place your bets with Elite Sportsbook at Rhythm City Casino Resort. We're Iowa-based, locally owned, and Iowa's preferred sportsbook. Football, baseball, college, or pro. Bet anytime, anywhere in Iowa. Visit Draft Day Sports Lounge at Rhythm City Casino and start betting now. Online betting coming soon for active Resort Club members. Not a Resort Club member? Visit Rhythm City Casino Resort now to join. Membership is free. Make every game better with Elite Sportsbook at Rhythm City Casino Resort. Subject to IRGC approval. Must be 21. Gambling a problem? Call 1-800-BETS-OFF.
From the first pitch to the last out, you'll hear every inning of Chicago Cubs baseball on ESPN 93.5.
He's at the warning track. It's at the wall. Solo.
Presented by Frick's Tap, Glens Creek Golf Course, G&G Retailers, Augustana College Athletic Department, Sexton Ford, American Family Insurance, Adam Rattler Agency.
Game over. Cubs win.
The Chicago Cubs are on the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
ESPN 93.5 wants you to be an insider. Access great contests and giveaways and be in the know at ESPN935.com. Brought to you by Necker's Jewelers, where the Quad Cities gets engaged, and ESPN Quad Cities. From local to global, ESPN 93.5 has you covered with your Quad Cities sports talk show. It's Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Talk sports with your favorite foursome, T-Roy, Jay-Bird, Serge, and you. Weekdays from noon to 2 on ESPN 93.5.
ESPN 93.5 is the Quad Cities sports leader and home of your local sports show, Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Listen for a chance to win everything from tickets to free food. Every time you win and pick up your prize at the ESPN 93.5 Pepsi ticket window, we'll give you a Pepsi for the road as well. It's like winning twice. Get more chances to win by downloading the ESPN 93.5 app or going to ESPN935.com. From the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5.
Big news for car buyers. It's a corporate ordered clearance at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport. Here's Gavin McGrath.
We're overstocked. Over 2,500 quality pre-owned vehicles are all clearance priced. Payments from $167 a month. Certified used trucks from $10,988.
That's clearance pricing. Plus, even bigger news if you're looking to trade.
We trade for anything regardless of mileage or age.
Tug it. Tow it.
Tell us where it is. Get top dollar and clearance pricing at the McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport.
Payments as low as $167 a month.
The Quad Cities' best selection of certified pre-owned trucks from $10,988. Clearance pricing for everyone. All credit applications accepted.
And we're trading for anything.
Close. No firearms or spouses, please.
The McGrath Used Car Superstore of Davenport, 4618 North Brady Street. Log on McGrathAuto.com.
In business, is it better to build your way to growth or buy your way? First Midwest Bank has ideas. It's a critical decision and different for every company. A First Midwest commercial banker can help you weigh your options, because at First Midwest, they're not just bankers, but expert financial advisors. Talk to one today or visit wehaveideas.firstmidwest.com. M&A momentum, strategic momentum, business momentum. First Midwest Bank.
From the Sheedy Family Chiropractic Studios, this is the Quad Cities sports leader, ESPN 93.5, KJOC Bettendorf.
All right, Quad Cityans, we want to remind everybody out there, don't be going to your social media sites asking everybody what you need or what you're going to do or what you're looking for. Just pick up your Locals Levis guide. It has an easy-to-navigate table of contents, or you can go to localslevis.com, click on Quad Cities, and browse the favorites. It's easy to use, and they do rank the most popular places for you. And when you're there, don't forget to vote for our show, Don't Hassle Us, We're Local, and all of our sponsors. Now, Jay, speaking of Locals Levis, today I ate lunch at an award-winning, 2 years in a row I saw hanging on their door, Locals Levis winner, 2018-2019. The Corner Deli down in the Village.
Ooh,
I'll tell you
nice.
what, yeah. And I told the guys when I left that hands down, right now, is the best Reuben in the Quad Cities. It's their New Yorker. They call it the New Yorker.
I'm glad you mentioned that. I was just talking about getting one the other day.
It is phenomenal. So, yeah, check it out. That's a little plug for our friends at Locals Levis and one of their advertisers.
Absolutely. All right,
Corner Deli.
Stocking.
Yes.
We're getting close to the high school football. We've had Davenport North on here, the boys from there. We had the kicker
My
from
new
Moline.
favorite team.
Kicker from the Moline Maroons. She was in here.
That's
Lovely young
that's
lady.
my favorite Illinois team.
Yeah. So, what are we looking for this year? Talk to me about. Let's start with the Western Big Six.
Okay, I think with the Western Big Six, the big news is there's going to be 2 new teams. Sterling and Geneseo will be in the Western Big Six, and I think they are going to be very good in the Western Big Six. The Western Big Six, the last 2 years, has won 1 playoff game in the playoffs combined. 1 playoff game the last 2 years in the Western Big Six.
Okay.
So now you bring in Geneseo, who last year had their first losing season since 1962.
Yeah.
But they're going to be better this year. I think you're going to see, and Sterling has been phenomenal, and they've got a great quarterback, Cooper Willman, who's going to be quarterbacking. Last year he was in a timeshare. This year it's his job, and last year he threw for 771 yards and had 16 total touchdowns running and passing. Sterling was in the last 3 years in the regular season 26-1. What also helps the Western Big Six is it takes away some of those hard to find non-conference games in week 3 and week 9. You've had Western Big Six teams, we talked about this on the Score podcast, going to Indiana or Ohio or Wisconsin to find games. Now there's only 2 games that they have to find, weeks 1 and week 2, and then they're into their season. And the Western Big Six season this year starts off with a dandy. Rocky and Moline, the earliest on the calendar they've ever met, September 13th.
Wow.
They had met September 14th and 15th back about 12 years ago. And now they're meeting this year on September the 13th, earliest they've ever started.
Wow.
There you have it, Jay.
Yeah. So what's your outlook on this?
I think Sterling will win the conference.
Really?
I think Moline will finish second with Geneseo third. There's a definite order in that conference. I think Sterling, Moline, and Geneseo are the top 3. Then Rocky and Quincy will be battling for a playoff berth. Almond, Galesburg, and UT have a lot of holes to fill.
So Quincy's taking that much of a step back this season.
Well, they lose Jarrell Brock.
Yeah.
They lose their starting quarterback. They have a guy named Kreiner. I think it's Antonio Kreiner. He'll be back, but I don't think. I mean, he's not like Jarrell Brock. I mean, Jarrell Brock was a special athlete. He's almost like, I would say he's the 2.0, if you will, of Alonzo Wise, who played at Rocky in the late 90s. If you remember Alonzo Wise, and he was a very good running back.
All right. So real quick before we get over to the other side, what are your thoughts? Where are they going with district football in Illinois?
That is a mess.
Okay.
Illinois has so messed the bed on this. It's incredible.
They messed the bed.
I'm not shocked.
First of all, you've got it. They're coming in 2021, which is off kilter with Iowa. Iowa always does theirs in even years.
Okay.
Because of that, it's going to make it virtually next to impossible, if not impossible, for there to be any cross river games.
It's a great point.
The second thing is you had some schools like Anawan and Wethersfield. They have two. They play together. They're a co-op, but they had two votes. Schools like Moline, who don't have a co-op, had 1 vote. That's a problem. Now I'm not sure who they voted for. I'm not saying what they voted for. But when you have some schools that are in a co-op having 2 or 3 votes,
yes,
it's a problem.
It doesn't matter where they vote. That's a problem.
And then you had some schools that don't even play football that voted.
Oh boy.
And also you have beginning 8-player football in Illinois. There are 17 schools that have 8-player football this year. River Ridge and Polo left the Northwest Upstate Illini to go to 8-man or 8-player. North Fulton left the Prairie Land to go to it. There's other Northwest Upstate Illini schools that might be going to it. There might be a few schools in the Lincoln Trail or Three Rivers that might be going to 8-player football in the next few years. Yet there's no mechanism in the IHSA because they don't give them a state championship. The state championship's through a group called Illinois 8 Football Association, the I8FA.
Too many acronyms for me.
Well,
I can't keep track.
But the thing though is that there are going to be more schools that are going to be going 8-player. The IHSA doesn't account for them in the district program, which means that eventually when it becomes a sport that no longer is emerging and deserves a true champion, are we going to have 9 classes in Illinois? And also, I mean, while this helps maybe an Allman or Erie Prophetstown or Riverdale, it really hurts a team like Moline, because Moline would be in Class 7A. Some of the projections I've seen have them playing Quincy, Granite City, Edwardsville, East St. Louis. I mean, those aren't
those cooks at Granite City can't hang with Moline.
Well, there's a high school called Granite City.
Right.
But I'm not. Those aren't road trips. Those are marathon trips that you're going to be taking in the regular season, and I just don't see it.
No, you're not going to make kids do that. No
But
one, that's going to last for like 2 seconds when parents figure that out.
Well, the IHSA is going full bore with it, and I just think they're going to. I think that there's been rumors that there's going to be a revote. I think if they have a revote, and now these schools have seen the projections, I think a lot of them may pull back from it. I think if it stays, they're going to have to push it to 2022 and come up with something more equitable, because you got schools like Moline who are looking at long road trips, and also Moline's got some great rivalries. They've got rivalries with Rocky that's one of the longest rivalries in the history of the state. They've got rivalries with Galesburg that's been since 1901, UT since 1930. They're not going to be able to get those all on their schedule. And for them not to play a UT or a Rocky not to play Allman is just insane in my point of view. And Moline's got to be looking like, hey, we draw with Rock Island. We fill Browning Field with Rock Island.
Right.
It's only been a generation since they had people standing rows deep at Browning Field to watch unbeaten Rocky play unbeaten Moline. They draw with UT. They draw with Galesburg. They'll draw with Geneseo and Sterling. I don't think they draw with East St. Louis or Edwardsville, coming up.
Here's the thing: is this happening or is it not happening?
I would say it's going to get. They'll have a vote that will turn it down this year, but we are talking the state of Illinois, and the IHSA, who does things that don't make all the most sense.
So you think if it happens, it'll be 2021, that's what kills the border.
Yes, I think if they do it, they've said 2021, and they'll still shoot for 2021, no matter how incredibly wacky it would be.
And I mean, I know it's geographical, but it doesn't make sense for the schools in our area.
Right.
No,
it doesn't make sense for the big schools in our area. For the little schools that would probably still be in the same area, yeah, it makes sense. Riverdale would still probably play Morrison and Fulton. They might add a Milledgeville instead of a Hall or a Sherrard, but they'd still be playing a lot of the same teams. But for your big schools like Moline, Rock Island, Sterling, and Geneseo, who just moved into the Western Big Six, I don't think it makes much sense.
All right,
we need to introduce somebody, Jay.
Rachel?
Yeah.
Say hi, Rachel.
Hello.
Hi.
Yeah, you're on Facebook Live out there. People want to know who you are.
I'm Rachel.
All right, do you have any input onto what Stockings talk about? Did you go to school Illinois or Iowa?
Illinois. Yeah.
Illinois. Okay. You from the Quad Cities?
No, I'm from DeKalb, Illinois.
Okay.
DeKalb. They're in the new conference this year, the Interstate 8.
See, there you go. Things you can learn on the show.
Right.
All right.
Rachel, how's school start up at Augie yet?
No, we start the 3rd or the 2nd.
Oh, you got some time.
Yeah, you could be on the show and hang out for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Go back and then tell everybody.
Go back. Yeah, I know all those geeks.
What you do this summer? Hung out with the geeks from Don't Hassle Us, We're Local. Jumping over to the other side of the river, Stocking.
Yes, into Iowa, and
oh boy, I listen to those.
Here we go.
Here's the thing: you got.
And this is a different colored workbook, everyone.
Yeah.
With Iowa, they're in districts, and so the traditional MAC that we grew up with is no longer there. In District 4A5. You've got West, Central, Burlington, and Bettendorf. In 4A4, you have North, Muscatine, PV, along with a few others. In 3A5, you have Clinton, Assumption, and North Scott. And the new team that's going to be coming in the MAC, Central DeWitt. Burlington is no longer going to be in the conference.
All right, go to
That
that.
kind of
Go to
makes
that
sense.
second.
That is a little bit longer of a drive.
In Class 4A, the one that PB had, you had West Central, Burlington, BA, and Bettendorf in one, and then the other one you had North, PV,
Muscatine.
Okay.
So let's do it numerically. 4A4, which is North, Linn-Mar, Muscatine, City High, Pleasant Valley, and Iowa City West. Iowa City West, their star baseball pitcher, Marcus Morgan, is also their quarterback. He is tremendous. He's already being recruited not only for baseball but also for football. He's got a tremendous arm, and Iowa City West is a traditional power in the conference, and last year they won the district. I think they probably will win the district again this year. North, I'm going to say will finish second.
Okay.
North, the only problem North has is, well, they have two problems. One is they have to work on their lines. Brant Carter, who is their great defensive lineman last year, he graduated and moved on to college. They have to work on their lines a little bit because they only have a couple players back on the line that have varsity game experience. So they're going to have to work on their lines a little bit. But for North, they have their quarterback, Jack West, back. They have Priest Sheedy, their wide receiver, back. They have Cade Schultz, their running back, back. All those are key players. You look at, just looking at what they had last year, Cade Schultz, 534 yards, 3 rushing touchdowns. Then you look at Priest Sheedy, over 600 yards receiving, 5 touchdowns receiving. Jack West, who's their quarterback, he had a tremendous year last year. He had, as I pull it up here, just give me 1 second, 931 yards passing, 6 touchdowns, ran for another 3. North, if this is going to be the year they make the playoffs with a winning record, this is going to be the year. The only problem is if one of those big three get hurt, I'm not sure what the depth is behind them to get them to that next level. But North, I have a feeling, could be real good. And their game against Muscatine, October 25th, down in Muskie, could be the game that decides which one of those two teams gets in a playoff or hosts a playoff game. Muscatine, they lost their quarterback, Carson Orr, but they still have running back Tim Nimley back, who's one of the best running backs in the state. Wide receiver Eli Gay is on watch list as well as one of the top receivers. He had last year, giving you Nimley stats real quick. Nimley ran for over 1,100 yards, 8 touchdowns. Eli Gay, their wide receiver, he had 862 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns, and 2 rushing touchdowns as well. Muscatine could be a team to watch out. Muscatine and North are going to be, I think, the two teams that if they get 3 teams out of the district into the playoffs, it will be those 2.
Okay. Traditionally, PV is the one that comes out of here.
Correct.
So why are we down on PV?
They lost
not down, just on the outside looking in.
They lost their quarterback Max Slavens. They've been hit by graduation really hard the last couple of years. Last year they started off 1-4, won their final 4 games to get into the playoffs, and then they lost to Bettendorf. I just don't know if they've got enough firepower to match up when you look at what North and Muscatine and Iowa City West have coming back. I mean, I think Pleasant Valley could very well have a winning record of 5-4 or 6-3 even, but I don't know if they've got enough firepower to hang with those other 3 teams.
Okay. What about City High? I mean, I know it's not.
I don't think City High, from what I've seen, City High and Linn-Mar don't have the firepower to hang with anybody of the 4 that we've mentioned.
Okay. So here's what you're saying: City West wins this district.
Yep.
Muscatine and North fighting out for the 2nd spot, and if the 3rd gets a wild card,
it will be they'll be in also. I think North will be 2nd, Muscatine 3rd.
Okay.
I think North wins that game at Muscatine, and that gets them 2nd. The game though to watch in non-district is North and West. That is September 20th at Brady. It is the week after North plays Central. Traditionally, Central has been North's bugaboo.
Yeah.
But if they can beat Central and they win those 2 games up in Dubuque, they'll be 3-0 coming in. West has a very good chance of being 3-0 also. They host UT, who they shut out last year at the Soul Bowl. They got a revenge match with Clinton, and that game could get ugly. Because
It was ugly.
It was ugly last year. It could be ugly
Isn't that
this
the one
year.
where the coach pulled the players up?
Yep.
Yeah.
And they
Field?
had
All
a
right.
brawl and everything else.
That was in Clinton, so this
Yeah.
one's down here.
Yes.
All right.
And it's a Thursday nighter. And then West has to go to Muscatine.
Talk about a bugaboo.
Now, last year, the week after all that, after the storm of that week subsided, they had a Thursday night game at Brady. Muscatine barely edged West 14-13. They have to go this year in Muscatine. West could be saying, hey, that should have been our game last year. We're going to do unto you what you did unto us. And if they're 3-0 and North is 3-0, tickets are going to be at a premium at Brady Street Stadium for the biggest in-season game between two Davenport teams since North and West played each other in 1987. And that was a 30-29 Falcon barn burner over the Wildcats.
You can take it to the bank.
Oh, that is some stockpile gold right there. Since
is
1987,
stockpile
30-29 barn burner.
West. That was the year West started off 6-0. That game, I think West was 5-0 coming in. North was 4-1, and North barely missed the playoffs. That year they went 6-3.
I can tell you won the state title that year, though.
It was
Bettendorf.
It was Bettendorf. It was not West. I think West lost the next week to Bettendorf, and Bettendorf
Jay was in junior high.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
That game. I think that game was at Tuvel, so probably you were there, Jay.
I was there, definitely, yeah. Anyway.
You know what? All I picture Jay's childhood is black and gold.
Yep.
Whether it was Bettendorf black and gold or Hawkeye black and gold, and it was spent at any sort of Bettendorf event.
Yeah.
Wrestling, football,
Yeah.
even basketball if they were good, he was there.
Yeah. I can tell you, even speaking of
popcorn,
my first year that I really remember going was in second grade to Tuval, and I remember that at Oscar Ben Franklin up there at Cumberland Square.
God, Ben Franklin was the best.
I got
Was it
some,
not?
I got some headband, but it was like a Velcro one, Bettner Bulldogs, and I would just wore it every Friday night.
Hey, you gotta help me.
Okay.
All right, off topic.
Yeah, that's
here.
fine. That's
Off
fine.
topic.
I love it,
All right,
yeah.
you ready? All right, so.
Yeah.
So is that even called Cumberland Square anymore? Or do they just
Yes,
take
it's
away?
still. I think it's
called
still.
Cumberland. It's just the sign, just not there.
All right, so we have to name the area of all the shops and stuff. They're trying to come up with a name out there in front of the TBK Plex.
Okay.
What are we gonna? I want to call it some sort of square. Or
Okay.
Plaza.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah, that's good.
Like going. You can't call it Cumberland, obviously, but
Don't do
QC
don't do champion. No,
QC,
I don't like
QC Hassle.
yeah, the Hassel Plaza.
Yeah.
The Hassel Plaza.
All right, something in reality.
Yeah,
Something based in
I
reality.
like Plaza.
gentlemen. What was the original name of Bettendorf?
Oh, well, you got a couple. There's Gilbert.
And what's the other one you always tell me about?
God, now you're gonna tell.
Sign that was in Governors
Yeah,
that you wanted.
Tavern. It was named after a tavern. That's now.
Dang it,
put me on the spot like
Jay.
that. Oh boy.
This guy bleeds Bettendorf.
Yeah,
You
there's
can't
Gilbert,
tell me.
and then there's Lilienthal.
Lilienthal Square.
I'm fine with Lilienthal Square.
There you go.
Or
Lilienthal Square.
Lilienthal Plaza.
Lilienthal Square Plaza. Love it. I'm gonna write that down and put it in my.
Or the
notes.
GL Plaza, work them both in.
Yeah.
Sort of like, they call it the TBK, or the Betplex, have the plaza in front of it and, with a moniker. So let's go to 4A5.
There you go. Good transition.
I think Bettendorf is going to be, I think, at the top.
What?
Who else is there?
Harrison Bay Bowie is going to be the running back.
But who else is there in the district when you say
Yeah.
you
Well,
think?
All right, go through the teams in the district real quick.
Kennedy, Washington.
Crap.
Washington.
Crap.
I'm sorry.
Not usually.
West, Central, Burlington, Bettendorf. Bettendorf should win the district
West
again.
will get second in this division,
But
right?
here's the thing with Bettendorf. Eventually, sometime, they're going to have to lose a district game. They've never lost a district game.
Doesn't mean they have to.
No, but I said eventually, it's going to catch something's going to, it's going to catch up to them. They have a new quarterback, Zach Trevino. He was at West last year. He transferred over to Bettendorf.
They haven't announced the starting quarterback yet.
But they haven't announced it yet, but I think he's the odds-on favorite. Harrison Bay Bowie, the running back from Moline, he transferred over.
We were sitting next to the coaches yesterday, and I couldn't even get an answer on that.
Yeah, they're
What's the inside?
You got a good running back coming in, yeah.
And they got.
Are you wearing like a sniper's ghillie suit going to practices and hiding now?
No, and then they got a couple of kids from Clinton, a linebacker that transferred in.
Barry.
West, I think, could finish second. They got a very good quarterback, Peyton Thompson. Coach Peters is very high on him. Central, They've got Sam Strain and Israel Taylor. Sam Strain is the best defensive lineman, I think, in the Quad Cities this year. Israel Taylor is one of the top receivers in the area. Central, though, has to find a quarterback to replace Aiden De La Rosa. If they find that quarterback and he can connect with Taylor, I think you got very good things for Central. Could surprise some people. Burlington.
Well, Central's coming off a very good year last year, correct?
No, they missed the playoffs and they struggled.
I thought they started out hot last year.
They lost at home to Muscatine, then they lost to North Scott, and they beat North. Then they lost to PV. They were 1-3. They beat Burlington. They got some momentum when they beat Washington, and they beat West. And then it came apart at Kennedy, and then they got beat by Bettendorf at the end of the season at home at Brady.
Yeah, 4 and 5.
I was remembering that middle stretch.
Yeah.
But they still had that really good running back.
Dontrell Womack has moved on and graduated, so they don't have him. But Sam Strain is a very good defensive lineman.
So they have a great staff there, though. Isn't Vandervelde still coaching there?
No,
Julian
Ben Sacco's the head coach.
I know, but Vandervelde helps out.
I'm sure he probably is.
And then they got Coach Hood out there too. Yeah. So we're looking at it's Bettendorf.
But are you seeing Stock? I'm sorry, Jay, to interrupt. But are you seeing that? Obviously Bettendorf has been dominating this division for a long time. Like you said, they haven't lost. And do you see these Davenport schools trying to close the gap? Because from what I'm seeing younger coaches coming in. I'm seeing a better,
getting kids on board.
Kids on board, better turnout.
I think they are trying to. Obviously they're not going. Oh, we want to go 1-8. The only problem is. They're trying and they're doing all the right things, but the kids still got to come out, and you still got to give them to practice, and they still got to get eligible. And for some, I remember one year at North, they had more kids on the sideline ineligible than they had actual players dressed for the game, and that's an issue. Eligibility is an issue.
Right. Yeah.
You've got to get in the. They got to do their work in the classroom, and some kids are very resistant to the idea of. They got to do their work in the classroom. They got to, I think they need the middle schools to start getting involved in saying, you got to turn your work. That's the biggest problem we have is kids not turning their work.
All right. Well, and you being a teacher in the district, and obviously a lot of ties to the Quad Cities your entire life. Something that Jay's brought up that I'll bring up again. What if you had like this? If you took the 3 schools,
I don't like that idea.
You don't like the
idea
at all. You don't like the idea of a sports-related school and academic and arts.
No, I don't like that idea, and I don't like the idea of putting all 3 together as one team. This is not what. There are some people in Davenport who sadly think this is still 1952, and that all they have to do is roll out the ball, and Davenport will roll to championships like they did in basketball and wrestling and football back then. Times are different. In 1950, when Davenport won the championship, the team they beat in the final
Why are you
was
bringing up 1950. They won it in the 80s. Central West went back to back.
The year they won in 1950, they won the state championship. The team they beat in the final was Ankeny, which was a little dot above Des Moines. Now Ankeny has 2 high schools. There are 3 high schools now in Iowa City. Bettendorf was still in 1950. Bettendorf didn't have a football team. The first year plus. They rented out Bray Street Stadium from the Davenport schools. Pleasant Valley didn't have a team. North Scott was not formed yet. Things are different. Times are different. Those schools.
We understand that, Stocky, but that doesn't.
Like Bettendorf and Pleasant Valley and North Scott have grown. So the Davenport mindset of, it's not, all we have to do is roll out the ball if we had 1 high school. That's not going to happen. You have 3 high schools work out on getting all 3 better. I believe a rising tide raises all boats. And so I think all 3 need to be pumped up as equally, not just 1 or 2, just all 3, because a rising tide will raise all boats. And unfortunately, we have some people in Davenport that still think it's 1952.
I understand what you're saying, Stock, but to go to Jay's point, and what I'm saying, let's just say you're a parent out there. All right, let's say the 3 of us are parents.
Yeah.
Your kids are, let's say your kids are you want your kids to go on and be talented in the academic area, where you want them to be rock scientists. Jay's more of an artist. Look at him. I mean, he's got the beautiful hair.
Makes
He's
sense.
kind of like a hippie over there, you know. Let's paint our toes and smell like patchouli. That's Jay. Okay? And so
That
that's
sounds
Jay.
exactly like
then
me.
you got T-Ray. I'm a little bit more meathead, all right? I want my kid to play basketball, football, baseball. You know, you take your soccer and shove it, whatever. But let's just say that. I mean, is there a problem? Is that a problem? That's not saying that Jay's right, I'm right, or you're right. You want to raise your kids in a certain way, and if Davenport offered it, if it was a possibility, and obviously even the kids that are going to the sports-minded school would have to pass
Des Moines has done
the minimum grades of what they're learning. I'm not saying we're going to have basket weaving like Patrick Union had for a class, but what I'm saying is you have studies and things more generated towards maybe where the parents are leading their kids. I don't know.
Des Moines did that. Des Moines did that to an extent.
Okay.
Where they had one like magnet school and one, you know, and that's why Des Moines schools are god awful bad in football. That's why they're pushing for Iowa to do a redistricting where they have 8 districts based more on, you know, what the parents make than on the enrollment. That's coming up this year in Iowa.
Jay
That's
comes
the
up,
Saber matchup.
but Jay
Yeah.
comes
Saber
up
wants to do
to a very good point on some of this too. Like if you have, let's say for example, a kid that's living within, you know, 200 yards of Tuval Stadium, getting to practices and whatever else is easier than
this, Doc.
I mean,
but I still don't.
But
think
if you got kids that go to West that have to drive all the way from Bluegrass,
I do not think.
I mean, you have two income families these days.
I do
Stock.
not. But
That's the difference from the 50s as well. Mom and Dad both work.
I don't want Iowa to have 8 districts. I don't think that works. I'm
not saying that's the answer.
I think that it's. I think it's a not a very good idea because you're putting in economics, and economics changes from year to year and place to place. I just don't think that works.
I think this would. I like Jay's ideas. I think it solves the economic problem because then you can make sure that the kids that need to go somewhere and it'd be easier to spread the money out. I think I don't know. Maybe
when West went 3-0 a few years ago, the vibe, the environment at West was unbelievable that year when they started out 3-0. The kids got behind the team. You see that like even in Illinois at Monmouth Roseville, everyone got behind. The whole city got behind the team when they got to the playoffs. What you're saying is, well, we'll have one school that's arts, one school that's sports, one school that's this. What those other 2 schools that aren't sports? You're saying, well, you got the worst players. They're never going to be 3-0. They're never going to have
they just don't have teams.
They'll have teams because you'll have kids that are going to say, "Hey, I want to play." I mean,
maybe they still go and play.
I just don't. I don't like.
All right, I'm with you.
Schools.
I'm not saying. All right.
Especially at high school, I think, we have 3 schools. They're geographic. I like that better than saying, "Well, you're a magnet school. You're this school. You're that school."
I like campuses. I like the way. I like that idea. I like that.
But Des Moines did that, and look at what their teams are. I mean, they're a mess.
Stock, and to your point, and seriously, I don't disagree with you at all because I do like the just think you're a kid at Central or West or North, and all of a sudden your team has gone on this incredible run, and there's the school pride.
Yeah, like last year at North. There was
the school pride thing and being behind it, whether you're academic, whether you're an RC or you're a jock or however you want to call it. The school pride thing is more than anything. I mean, you're going to get behind and root for your classmates. I get it.
Real quick, in this district, Bettendorf is there. Who do we see coming out? Is it between Kennedy, Cedar Rapids, Washington, and West?
I'm gonna say Kennedy 2, West 3, Central 4.
Okay, so Washington's down.
Yeah, Washington.
Okay, very down.
Washington 5 and Burlington 6.
Gotcha.
To 3A 5.
3A, there we go.
North Scott's got to replace their quarterback. As does Assumption.
Yeah.
Central DeWitt had a star running back. They got to replace him. The team I think that could win the district, I'm going to go with Liberty. They're in that. There's Assumption, Central DeWitt, Clinton, Clear Creek, Amana, Liberty, and North Scott.
Aren't they 2 seasons removed from just JV football?
They are. This is their second year of varsity football.
Okay.
They have that campus that they have is got tremendous facilities, and I think a lot of the old City West kids went to Liberty last year. They played real well, gave a good account of themselves in their first year. I like Liberty as an upset winner in the district, with North Scott 2, Assumption 3, Central DeWitt 4, Clinton, Clear Creek, Amana 5, Clinton 6.
Give it to me one more time. You like Liberty?
Liberty, then North Scott,
Okay.
then Assumption, Central DeWitt, Clear Creek, and Clinton. And Clear Creek last year beat Assumption in a game that was stopped with about 8 minutes to go due to weather, and they they didn't finish it. They just conceded it because Assumption would have had to finish that game, would have had to drive back out to Clear Creek on a Saturday and then played on a Thursday at home.
All right, we're going to keep an eye on this, especially the Liberty thing. We know that it's growing. I mean, that was right away last year when we had you on and Koss on. Both of you said the same thing. Keep an eye on Liberty. That school district is going to blow up with athletes. And like I pointed out just now, they're 2 years removed from junior varsity football, second year in varsity, and now you're already calling them to win their district. So that's impressive.
I'll tell you, a kid to watch in 8-man from Easton Valley, used to be the Preston East Central.
Yep.
Easton Valley has a quarterback named Nathan Trenkamp.
Okay.
Last year he threw for 2,600 yards, 38 touchdowns, 11 interceptions, but he completed 199 passes. He's back, and his two of his top receivers are back in Cade Jargo, who had over 1,100 yards receiving, 20 touchdowns. Braden Farrell had 322 yards receiving, 7 touchdowns. Easton Valley could be a sleeper in 8-player football. They've got a lot of weapons back.
Okay, real quick now, let's take us over to your NFL predictions.
We did that when I came.
I know, but T-Roy wasn't here.
Okay, I've got my division winners are Philadelphia, Detroit, New Orleans, the Rams, with the wild card being Dallas and San Francisco. AFC division winners, New England, Pittsburgh, Tennessee, and the Chargers, with the Chiefs and Jets being division winners. AFC championship game, New England beats the Chargers 30-23. Dallas defeats the Rams 20-14. But unfortunately, in the Super Bowl 54, New England beats Dallas 23-17.
What do you think about that, T-Ray?
I mean,
I have the Bears going 7-9.
I don't see that stock. I don't see Detroit. I want to see. What are you thinking? What's going to happen in Detroit?
Well, they got a new offensive coordinator. They got rid of Jim Bob Cooter.
Yeah,
and
that is a dumb name.
And got Darrell Bevel. He's going to work with Matthew
Sounds
Stafford.
like Darrell Bevel sounds like he should have been like a singer for one of the bands from the
Darrell Bevel
90s. Like Bell Biv DeVoe, Darren Bevel.
Darrell Bevel has been a very good offensive coach. He's going to work with Matthew Stafford. Kenny Galladay is his top receiver.
I like Galladay.
Galladay, I think if you're looking for a player to add to your fantasy team that
I'm not taking fantasy advice.
might be 4th or 5th rounder, there's Kenny Galladay. Will be there.
Stock. I would stop with the fantasy advice, but I love you though.
And I think Detroit's added a lot of veteran help. Matt Patricia's got that defense going. I think the Lions get through a very difficult North with an 8-8 record and capture the NFC North Division title.
At 8-8?
Yes.
All right, stock. Here's the deal. All right, I think that Patricia Falls cursed a lot of the things that happened to Belichick
assistants.
Yeah, he's just not as good without Bill. All right, name one. Name a single Belichick disciple that's been successful.
Romeo Crennel was
no.
Charlie Weiss.
Vrabel down in Tennessee.
No.
Yeah, Vrabel at Tennessee.
Vrabel. I'll give you Vrabel.
That's it.
One. Yeah, 1 out of 20 is bad.
Hey, I'm
just saying, stock. I like where you're at with it.
1 out of 20.
I think the Eagles Cowboys thing go either way in that division. I like you got the 49ers in there. You had the Rams winning that division. That's right along with what I have going on. I still think the Bears, Packers, and Vikings beat the crap out of each other. Bears squeak it out just by better divisional record. They just have the better defense of the three. Where'd you have? You had New England. That's a no-brainer. Yep. I can't see the Chargers being better than the Chiefs this year. But the Chargers are good. I have them and the Chiefs battling that out. That's much like the NFC East. two top teams. You said the Jets are making the playoffs?
Yes. 10-6. Sam Darnold, Le'Veon Bell.
The Jets are not better than the Browns.
I have 8-8.
I don't have the Browns. I have the Browns having a losing record at 7-9.
That team is too stacked with talent,
and
brother.
too many loose cannons. I mean, you got Baker Mayfield. He's a loose cannon.
He's just cocky. I don't like him either, but he's just cocky. He's not like Antonio Brown.
Odell Beckham Jr. is a loose cannon.
He's not Antonio Brown either.
Odell Beckham Beckham's worse than Antonio Brown.
I don't think so. He's a little bit of flamboyant, but he's not that bad.
Plus, they have Kareem Hunt.
He's not even on the field yet.
But he
They have Nick Chubb. Nick Chubb was
clubhouse.
tearing it up at the end of the thing. All right,
at the end of the
listen,
thing.
I don't agree with him kicking a girl, and he shouldn't be in the league. That being said, I don't feel that he's a distraction.
I think he will be, and I don't think this. And Freddie Kitchens, he's never been a head coach anywhere. I mean, Freddie Kitchens was a quarterback under Gene Stallings at Alabama.
Real quick.
Yeah.
Before we do our last plug of the show, this came out today that Ezekiel Elliott was not amused by Saturday's Zeke Who quip from Dallas Cowboys owner Jerry Jones and thought it was disrespectful, according to his agent. So Eddie pointed this out in the Harrington's Facebook comment.
Needs to stay in Cabo for a couple more weeks and then come to Dallas for
he
week one.
He said he was, where was it at? That he was at Cabo San Lucas and answered a question about Elliott after the Cowboys preseason game on Saturday in Hawaii, and his answer was Zeke Who. And then he went on to say, like, he's just cracking a joke at Zeke's expense. But, Jones had been asked if running back Tony Pollard, who was having a strong training camp, was the best negotiated employee the Cowboys have, and talks with Elliott, which was his response, Zeke Who.
Yeah, well, he's not there. So, but one thing we were going to talk Heisman.
Yeah.
I got Justin Herbert from Oregon winning it with Ian Book second and Trevor Lawrence third. I think that Trevor Lawrence, he'll have good stats, but Clemson will destroy everyone in the ACC.
Yeah.
People won't watch, and I think Ian Book, the Notre Dame factor, but I think Justin Herbert from Oregon is probably the best quarterback. I mean, there were rumors that if he came out this year, he'd be number one. And I think he will be, and he's bulked up a little bit. I think he'll get through the season healthy, and he'll win the Heisman.
Yeah, I mean, they should win the Pac-12 North easily.
Well, Washington's probably going to be
that's going to be their big game, but I like where you're at. I like the Book thing, too, the Notre Dame factor as well. Trevor Lawrence, you're going to need a couple signature wins there.
Yeah, and for Tua, I think they'll lose to Auburn at the end of the year, and it will be on Tua throwing interceptions, and that will send a lot of Heisman voters away from him.
All right. T-Ray, you got anything to read for me?
Yeah, we want to talk to you about Oscar's Pub, guys. Proud to bring to you Beer Fest, Saturday, October 12th, an all-day event celebrating beer and fun. They're going to have beer pong, flippy cup contest, a Vans bread nugget eating competition. Stock. How many can you down, do you think?
How many?
Well, it's a competition.
Of what?
Of a bread nugget.
Maybe one or two. I'm not into competitive gluttony.
Yeah, I love it. Me neither.
He has a big vocabulary.
Yeah, I like that. I like competitive gluttony. I like that.
And also that night, Stocky, do you like live music?
Loves it.
You better love
Only
it.
at the Tugfest.
Come on, Stock.
Depends.
All right, we're going to have a band from the Quad Cities at 4:30 called The Bettermen. They're awesome. We're going to check them out. And then 7:30 out of Milwaukee, Wisconsin, performing for the first time ever in the Quad Cities. Pat McGurty, bringing the most high energy act in the country with his standout hits, Sex and Beer. Who doesn't like both those things, Stock? All right? Tickets for the event are going to be $10 day of, $5 in advance. Advance sales will begin September 1st. You can check and get to that site through the Oscars Pub Facebook line or Facebook page. That's Beer Fest Saturday, October 12th, Oscars Pub, featuring Pat McCurdy.
Want to remind everybody that fall is just around the corner. It's going to be raining soon. The leaves are going to be falling. It's going to be hard on your gutters. It's going to be hard on your roof.
Predictions are going to be terrible. You're going to have somewhere to hide.
Call Dave's Roofing and Siding right away to get prepared for the winter, so that way when it doesn't wear and tear too much over the winter when the storms come down, the snowstorms and siding as well.
Another polar vortex?
Yes.
Rainstorms,
windstorms, going to be messing up siding. You can get a free estimate at Dave's Roofing and Siding. Call Joel Johnson at 563-343-1136 or Ron at 563-650-2837 for free estimates. Dave's Roofing and Siding. Like, what do you always say? Perfect planning?
Prior proper planning prevents a piss poor performance, Jay.
There you go. And if you have prior proper planning for your home and you do that curbside appeal, it's all going to work out for you in the end.
And Riverdale won the Tug Fest over Pleasant Valley.
Look at that. They over Pleasant
Fort
Valley.
Byron.
Yeah.
It's Riverdale.
Stocking.
Port Byron won, and then Riverdale won the tug.
Where can
against
everybody
PB.
follow you at quickly?
At Brian Stocking, and also make sure you follow The Score on Channel 8.
Are you a Ram?
Podcast coming out?
Podcast, we're doing one tomorrow, I think.
All right, perfect. Y'all have a great Monday. Enjoy yourself.
Piece of chicken grease.
Quad Cities sports leader.